Welcome to another video. My name is Dave Tromp and this is my weekly forecast on the forex currency markets. I make a weekly video where I look ahead at the coming week and how the markets will behave, so I can prepare for trading. I will also have a look at my current positions and positions that have been open and closed. So let's jump into it. So let's have a look first at the dollar index. I still have an open position on the dollar index going long, but I am thinking about closing this position for a small loss. Hopefully it's going to be around half an hour, not more, because I went long when there was a breakout of this trend line, and now price has moved back into the below this trend line. So I think if price opens below this line here, the blue line, then I will close this position. Same goes for the Euro USD. I have a long on this. Same idea. I got in at the break here, and now price is moving back up again. So I think I'm going to close that position as well. But let's see how the market opens. If the market opens for the Euro USD lower, so lower than this blue line, this trend line, then I will maybe consider keeping my position open, although we do have here this the MACD showing that there's some upward momentum, so, and we are trading within the Kumo. So this was actually trade that was looking pretty good for the fact that this signal line broke below price here, and we broke out of this channel that I identified, but we were heading into the Kumo cloud. So as you can see, this can always cause not smooth sailing. So eventually price started reverting in the Kumo, and what can happen excuse me, what can happen actually from here is that price will bounce around within the Kumo, so it might go a little bit lower then higher again, and probably we're gonna see some consolidation in this area. So I'm not sure if I want to wait for the consolidation to be clear. Hopefully I can get out maybe at the break even, that would be nice. So for the dollar index, the same thing goes here. It does look very bearish to me for the dollar. We did have some retracement here that I was trying to get in on to the long side, and I wanted to play it back to this level right here before going short again. But it might be good to start closing this position and going short as well. Maybe if price moves out of the Kumo, then the signal line here becomes below the price, then that could be a good opportunity to take some short positions on. And the reverse is almost applicable for the Euro USD. Looking at the Great British Pound USD, I had this open order waiting for price to break below this low right here. This did not happen, and price is now moving higher in the Kumo. So I've removed this this order, so I'll just hide it for now, and this scenario is not going to play out. So from here I'm gonna wait to see what price is gonna do, if it's gonna which way it's gonna get out of the Kumo. It might break out higher here and then do some sort of retest and maybe a break lower again. So let me draw that in. So price could break out of the Kumo here, and then usually once it's broken out, it's retests the Kumo at some flat area somewhere around here. And then we have to see, it's a very thin Kumo, so we might just break back into this longer term downtrend that has been going on. So if we zoom out, we can see, well, let's go to the weekly. Then here we have this long trend going on, and we do have some bottom forming here, but we might go one more time to the downside before we can go higher again. Maybe we can see some consolidation. So basically on the daily, what I will be waiting for is for either price to break lower out of the Kumo immediately, or maybe break higher and then break again lower and maybe retest the Kumo. So we might also see something like this. So we have this bounce here, and then we might see some higher prices, and then this is an area that I will be looking to play some shorts, or we might break. So the long story short is that there's more bearish pressure, in my opinion, on the British pound compared to the US dollar. So short is the most probable trade, in my opinion. Moving to the USD Japanese yen, I have an open trade on this based of this pin bar that formed right on this support and resistance area. We had a bounce here, and now we had a bounce right here with this pin bar, and then when we broke above this pin bar, I went long. We do have this Kumo here, and we also have this kind of channel. So we have these highs making lower highs, and we've broken out of this, and now we are retesting that level. And looking on the shorter term, we can see we have this low here, a higher low, and now hopefully we will be making another higher low, and so we will not break lower. If we do break this steep trend line, then I think I'm going to consider exiting this trade, because I think then we're going to see another retest maybe of these levels down here. So let's see what the market does. The most ideal scenario would be that we will retest this trend line and then break through the Kumo. If we've broken through the Kumo, then we still have this trend line that can act as some resistance, and if we break that, then we have clear sailing to more upside. For now, I'm holding on to the trade. So again, if it breaks this trend line here to the downside, then I'm out. Else I'm gonna stay in and see if I can get more pips and more R. Actually, I'm not too concerned about pips. I want to get R out of this. So this is a 1 to 10 possible risk to reward. So I'm risking $1 to make 10 if this scenario plays out. So hopefully I can stay in the trade. Let me see. Oh, this was actually another another position. I had a position on a retrace as well. That's a 1 to 10, and then here I have a position that's a 1 to 4.5. Also pretty good. Of course, this 1 to 10 risk to reward, I'm already up. Let's see how many. So that's 1 to, not even a 1 to 1. So still have to be patient on that. But if it, let me see, do I have the correct one? No, that's not the correct one. I need the inner one. So this one is already up 1 to 2.4. So that's the one that got in at this level right here at the retrace. So I placed 2 orders here, one at the break of this pin bar and one at the 50% retrace, both to the upside, and both with a possible or potential target at this level right here, targeting these highs around here. That would be an awesome result if this plays out. That would give me a 10R and a 4.5R, so that's 14R in these two trades. but hey, price can also still break lower. Anyways, if it breaks lower, then I will be out, and I'll making about maybe 2 hour and half an hour, so that's 2.5 hours more or less, and that would also be good. Moving on to the USD Swiss franc. So I had this order on waiting for a break lower, so let's switch to the weekly first, because we had this long-term consolidation going on here, and we had this extreme low that was formed in, when was that, 2015, and now we made a low here and went higher, so I was waiting for a break lower to trade it all the way back to the lows of the 2015. This did not happen. We did not break lower. We went higher actually, and then I started to wait for possible entry to the long side that you can see right here, and that also did not happen, and we are breaking lower again. So it looks as if price is gonna go sideways in this area, and none of my orders have been triggered, and that's fine. I can wait patiently. So I was waiting for this kind of retest on the flat Kumo right here. So that what happens often is that price breaks out of the Kumo, and when it does, it then retraces to the flat part of the Kumo. So that's where I wanted to get in more or less, and then place my stop below the Kumo. But now it looks as if we're going to fall out of the Kumo to the downside, and that means that I will remove this order as well, and then see what happens in this area. I think we're going to consolidate, so most likely scenario will be that we will be going and do something like this in this area. So nothing's for sure, but this is just my prediction, my way of looking at it. So we do have this cross to the downside here on the MACD, so it means there's a little bit more momentum to the downside. So let's see if we do get a break below these lows right here, then I will not I do not have this short position or this short order on anymore. So if we do break lower, then I'll be trading it something like this. We have a break lower, and then I want to see a retest and some clear signal somewhere here, maybe a pin bar or something, and then I would trade it to the downside. In any other case, if it's going sideways, I don't think I'm going to be trading this, especially because we have this Kumo cloud forming as well also, so it's going to be choppy and messy, and not for me. The Aussie dollar against the US dollar, we had this sideways channel going on, or this upsloping channel going on, and so we broke out of this channel and then hold at this level here at the bottom of the Kumo. So I placed an entry below this this bar right here, waiting for a break lower to play the momentum to the downside. It did not happen, and now we are actually moving higher again. We are in this channel again, almost out of the Kumo, and my stop level that I placed was also invalidated. So this trade or this open order I'm gonna take off my book, and I'm not gonna wait for a break lower here again. Probably one way to trade this is to trade it within this channel that's been formed. So if you extend the channel like this, then we could wait for a break out of the Kumo and then a retest and then take it to the upside. So let's draw that in. So if price breaks out here and then retests at the Kumo, and then it could go this way. Another way to look at this is if we break lower below out of the channel again, and even if we break out of the Kumo and out of this longer term trend line that I have drawn in, then we could see a move to the downside, but only if we break all these levels. So we do have to break the Kumo level and also the longer term trend line that is here. Let me switch to the weekly. So there is this very long-term downtrend going on. So if we break again within this trend line, so below this trend line, then we could see some more downside all the way back to the Kumo right there. That's on the weekly. So on the daily, we could play it a little bit more tight. So we could say if we break below the Kumo, we could place a stop here above the Kumo and then see if we can trade it all the way down. So just to give you an idea of what that would look like is when talking about risk to reward, that would be first target here at a 1.86 or well, around 2, and then this level right here would be 3.4, so that would be a pretty good risk to reward. Yeah, risking 1 to make $3.44. That's pretty good. Let me switch back one more time. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna place this order, but it's just an idea for you to consider if you want to look at this. New Zealand dollar, same story here. We're also back into this upsloping trend, so we could also play this as a break into the channel and then a retest on the channel line that coincides with the with this very thin Kumo, and then we could see a move higher. But on the other hand, we could also break lower, and if price will break out of the Kumo and also below this trend line, only then I would consider going short again. So this order I already removed, but we could adjust it as well like this. So we could say if price breaks below this recent low right here, then we could place our stop above the Kumo and we could trade it all the way back to this support line. So that's a 2.5 R that we could make on this trade, and that's also acceptable. Then USD against the Canadian dollar, so the US dollar against Canadian dollar, we have turned around. The dollar is weakening again. We've seen this on the here on the dollar index as well. Yeah, I should have gotten out here at the break-even trade and a small win, because I had two positions on, one that was entered right here and one I got in on the retrace here at this trend line. So I identified this upward trend as we had the low here and a higher low, and I got in when price broke above here, above this pin bar. So at this wick I got in, and then a little bit of retrace. I did not get stopped out, and then price went into my favor. We had some consolidation here, and I honestly thought we would break out of this Kumo, something like this, and then do a retest, but we did a retest of this trend line immediately. That was also a scenario that I was planning on, and then we broke out of this channel, and honestly I've not been watching this position too closely, so when it's when I first saw it, we were already here at the bottom of the Kumo, so I decided to leave these trades open, see if it would come back, and of course that's never a good idea if you're thinking like that, but hey, I'm only human. So finally we broke the stop losses, and we are out of these two trades, so that's a 2R loss. Very unfortunate, because we at one point we were actually in good profit, and it's a lesson for me not to let these trades, these winning trades, become losers. So next time what I'll be doing is moving up my stops. That's a thing I actually do quite often, but I'm not quite sure why I did not do this on this trade. Yeah, my bad. Anyway, it's a losing trade with minus 2R. Quickly looking at gold. Gold had a nice move up. I'm a long-term holder of gold and also of silver. And when price broke below here for gold, I wanted to hedge some of my positions, my long positions, by putting on a short trade for the on the CFDs. And I'm actually thinking to maybe start closing these positions again because I was expecting price to break more lower and then retest these levels, at least right here. And for my long position, or for my long-term holdings, I would want to buy here a lot of gold and then close my short positions as well. Same goes for silver. But looking at it right now, we've moved back into this not a triangle pattern, but this kind of wedging pattern. Same here on gold. And actually here with gold we have already broken above this triangle, the top of the triangle here. So I think we're going to see more upside on gold. So I'm definitely going to close this this trade when the market opens. So I've made maybe half an hour loss, and on this silver trade also about half an hour. But it was kind of an insurance for a possible break to the downside, to a way to hedge my my long-term holding positions. Also, to confirm here with the MACD, we can see we have a signal to the upside here, so we're breaking to the upside here on the MACD. We can see here it's green and we've crossed the signal line right there, and that is an early indication that there's more momentum to the upside. Let's see if we also have this on gold. On gold we already had this the day before, so gold is even more there's even more momentum to the upside on gold. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at this. I hope you like these forecast and reviews of my trades. If you do, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can stay in the loop when I post new videos. I post at least a video every weekend where I do these forecasts, but I also will try to post some educational videos about trading, and also videos in which I explain a little bit more on how I trade. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe and like, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye bye.